Deep within the Atlantic Ocean, off the coast of French Guiana, lies a place whispered in fear and shrouded in mystery. A place called Devil's Island. This is not a vacation destination. This is a place where hope goes to die. Devil's Island was once a French penal colony, a place of exile for criminals, political prisoners, and those deemed undesirable by the French government. From 1852 to 1953, this island fortress housed the most hardened criminals. They were sent here not for rehabilitation, but for punishment, left to rot in this tropical inferno. The island itself is a cruel joke, a beautiful facade hiding a sinister secret. The guards on Devil's Island were not known for their mercy. They ruled with an iron fist, their authority absolute and unforgiving. The prisoners were subjected to unimaginable cruelty, their days filled with hard labor and their nights haunted by fear. Escape was the only hope, but the odds were stacked impossibly high. Yet despite these insurmountable odds, there were those who dared to dream of freedom. Henri Charrière, or Papillon as he was known, was no stranger to hardship. Falsely convicted of murder, he was sentenced to life on Devil's Island. His spirit, however, remained unbroken. He refused to let the horrors of his imprisonment extinguish the fire within him, the burning desire for freedom. Papillon's story is one of incredible resilience, of the unbreakable human spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity. Henri Charrière, a name lost to the annals of Devil's Island, replaced by a simple moniker, Papillon, the butterfly, a symbol etched onto his chest, a constant reminder of the freedom he yearned for. Born in 1906, Papillon was a man of the streets, a safecracker by trade, navigating the Parisian underworld with a certain swagger. Wrongfully convicted of murder, he was sentenced to life imprisonment within the brutal confines of Devil's Island. Yet even within this abyss of despair, Papillon refused to surrender. Life on Devil's Island was designed to crush the human spirit. The guards, driven by a sadistic sense of power, ruled with an iron fist. Every day was a struggle for survival, a constant battle against starvation, disease, and the ever-present threat of violence. Papillon, however, possessed an unyielding will to live, a fire that refused to be extinguished. He befriended fellow inmates, forging bonds of camaraderie in the face of adversity. Together they hatched plans, whispered dreams of escape under the cover of darkness. Papillon's will to live was not fueled by a selfish desire for freedom alone. It was intertwined with a profound sense of injustice. He knew he was innocent, that he didn't belong in this forsaken place. This knowledge fueled his determination, pushing him to persevere even when all hope seemed lost. The butterfly on his chest became a symbol of this fight for justice, a reminder that he was fighting not just for himself, but for the truth. Papillon became a beacon of defiance, his unyielding spirit a testament to the power of the human will. Papillon's first escape attempt was audacious in its simplicity. He planned to use a makeshift raft, constructed from stolen materials, to navigate the treacherous currents surrounding the island. For months, he meticulously gathered scraps of wood, canvas and rope, hiding them from the watchful eyes of the guards. One moonless night, with the rain lashing down and the wind howling, Papillon made his move. Along with two fellow inmates, he slipped past the sleeping guards, their hearts pounding in their chests. They carried their makeshift raft, their only hope of salvation, towards the edge of the island. For 2 agonizing days and nights, they battled the elements, their flimsy raft tossed about like a cork in a storm. Land finally emerged on the horizon, a thin sliver of green against the endless blue. Exhausted but exhilarated, they dragged their battered raft ashore, their bodies trembling with fatigue and relief. They were free, at least for a little while. The authorities, alerted to their escape, had launched a relentless manhunt. Beaten and broken, Papillon and his companions were dragged back to Devil's Island, their dreams shattered. The failed escape attempt resulted in a brutal stint in solitary confinement. 2 years of darkness, silence, and unimaginable hardship. Papillon emerged from solitary confinement emaciated, his body weakened but his spirit unbroken. Over the next few years, Papillon made several more escape attempts, each one meticulously planned, each one bolder and more daring than the last. He collaborated with fellow inmates, forming alliances and sharing resources. He bribed guards, forged documents, and even feigned insanity, all in a desperate bid for freedom. Each attempt ended in failure, each recapture met with increasingly brutal punishment, yet he refused to give up. Years of brutal captivity had taken their toll on Papillon's body, but his spirit, much like the faded butterfly tattooed on his chest, refused to be broken. His final escape plan was as audacious as it was desperate. He would build a raft. Not just any raft, but a vessel capable of withstanding the unforgiving currents and treacherous waters surrounding the island. His plan hinged on an unlikely ally, the humble coconut. For months he meticulously gathered coconuts, hoarding them in a secret cache, hidden from the watchful eyes of the guards. Finally the night arrived. Under the cloak of darkness, they launched their peculiar vessel into the churning waters, their hopes and dreams riding on a raft of coconuts. The vast expanse of the Atlantic stretched before them, an unforgiving expanse of water that had claimed the lives of many would-be escapees. The raft, buffeted by waves, creaked and groaned but held together, their unlikely vessel defying the odds. Days turned into nights and nights into days, the relentless sun beating down on their weary bodies. Sharks, drawn by their desperation, circled their raft, their dark, menacing forms visible beneath the surface. But through it all, Papillon's spirit remained unbroken. Just when their bodies had reached the limits of their endurance, when hope dwindled with each passing hour, a sight appeared on the horizon that sent a surge of adrenaline through their weary bodies. Land! After what seemed like an eternity at sea, the faint outline of a coastline emerged from the haze, a beacon of hope in their desperate struggle for survival. Their hearts pounded with a mixture of relief and trepidation. Relief at the thought of solid ground beneath their feet, of escaping the clutches of the sea. But also trepidation, for they had no way of knowing where the currents had carried them, whether this land offered sanctuary or posed yet another threat to their newfound freedom. They had escaped the island, but their journey was far from over. Section 4. A Free Man. The land they had stumbled upon proved to be Venezuela, a country infinitely more welcoming than the penal colony they had left behind. They were found by indigenous people who showed them kindness and compassion, offering them food, water, and shelter. Papillon, forever indebted to these kind strangers, vowed to honor their generosity by living a life worthy of the second chance he had been given. He would never forget the horrors of Devil's Island, but he refused to let the darkness of his past define him. He was a survivor, a testament to the indomitable human spirit's ability to endure even the most unimaginable hardships. He eventually made his way to freedom, becoming a symbol of hope, of resilience, his name synonymous with the unyielding pursuit of freedom. Papillon's tale serves as a reminder that even in the darkest of places, the human spirit can endure, hope can bloom, and freedom, though elusive, is a prize worth fighting for. Papillon's story is more than just a to the human spirit's extraordinary ability to endure, to overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles. Stripped of his freedom, subjected to unimaginable cruelty, he could have easily surrendered to despair, allowed the brutal reality of his situation to extinguish the fire within him. But Papillon clung to hope, nurtured it within the depths of his being, allowing it to fuel his every horrors he witnessed, the pain he endured, only served to strengthen his resolve. He would not be defined by his circumstances. He would not allow Devil's Island to have the last word. This is what elevates Papillon's story from a simple prison break to a timeless tale of human resilience. It speaks to a fundamental truth about our nature, our capacity to find strength and reserves of courage when all seems lost. Papillon's triumph was not merely escaping the physical confines of Devil's Island. It was the triumph of his spirit over the crushing weight of oppression, the triumph of hope over despair. He emerged from the crucible of his ordeal, not broken and defeated, but stronger, more determined than ever to live a life worthy of the sacrifices he had made. His story serves as a beacon of inspiration, a testament to the power of perseverance in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. It reminds us that the human spirit is capable of extraordinary feats of endurance, that even in the darkest of times, a flicker of hope, nurtured and protected, can ignite a fire that burns bright enough to overcome even the most daunting challenges. Papillon's story is a testament to the power of the human will, a force capable of bending even the most unyielding of bars. It's a reminder that true freedom is not merely the absence of physical constraints, but the liberation of the human spirit from the shackles of despair, doubt, and fear. Papillon's story, though set against the backdrop of a remote penal colony, carries a universal message that transcends time, culture, and geography. It speaks to the inherent human desire for freedom, a yearning that resides within each of us, regardless of our circumstances. Whether we find ourselves imprisoned by physical constraints, societal expectations, or our own internal limitations, Papillon's story reminds us that we possess the power to break free. It may require immense courage, unwavering determination, and an unyielding belief in ourselves, but the possibility of liberation, of soaring above our self-imposed limitations, is always within reach. Papillon's story is a call to action, an invitation to embrace our own inner butterfly, to spread our wings, and to dare to dream of a life beyond the confines of our current reality. It's a reminder that the pursuit of freedom in all its forms is a noble endeavor, one worthy of our unwavering commitment and relentless pursuit. In 1969, the world was captivated by a book detailing a harrowing tale of survival and the pursuit of freedom. That book was Papillon, Henri Charrière's account of his incarceration and escape from Devil's Island. It became an international bestseller, translated into countless languages. The power of Papillon's story lay in its message of hope and resilience. Readers were inspired by one man's determination to reclaim his freedom. The book sparked debate about the French penal system and justice. It served as a testament to the power of storytelling itself. The impact of Papillon extended far beyond the printed page. The book was adapted into a critically acclaimed film in 1973, starring Steve McQueen and Dustin Hoffman. The film brought the story to a wider audience, further cementing Papillon's place in popular culture. Multiple adaptations, documentaries, and articles have kept his story alive. His tale of resilience continues to inspire, reminding us of the human spirit's capacity for transformation and freedom. The tale of Papillon is a stark reminder of the resilience of the human spirit, its capacity to endure unimaginable hardship, and its unyielding pursuit of freedom. Henri Charrière, stripped of his liberty and thrown into the depths of despair, could have easily succumbed to the brutal reality of his circumstances. Yet, he chose a different path, one paved with unwavering determination and an unquenchable thirst for liberation. His story resonates with us, not because it is an action-packed escape thriller, but because it reflects a universal truth about the human condition, our innate desire to break free from constraints, to overcome adversity, and to carve our own destinies. Papillon's legacy extends far beyond the confines of Devil's Island, serving as a beacon of hope for anyone who has faced hardship, reminding us that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit, like a butterfly, possesses the strength and resilience to rise above and soar.